Anyway, down to the sort of basics of how things were organized in those first few months, and how the paper, what the foreign coverage was like when it saw the light of day. We regularly ran three full pages, and as you know, it was broadsheet initially. We ran three full pages of foreign news every day, with the added benefit that in the early days, as nobody wanted to advertise with the Independent, we got full pages. You know, they weren't even adverts in a way. Now, as I say, we had very distinguished correspondents, but not that many of them. So we had to fill up, as many newspapers do, with agency copy. Now, because I'd come from Reuters, and as all agency people, I felt that, you know, sometimes our contribution is underrated, particularly by those correspondents who sort of rewrite the intro and then use the wire copy. I felt that, you know, we should do more to recognize the agency contribution. So I said, right, if we use agency copy, we should give it a byline like we do any other copy, which was a complete novelty because the style before was always to say, if it was agency, you'd say from our own correspondent, or from a correspondent in Timbuktu or whatever. That just meant it was wire copy, right? So we changed that. We said, okay, what are we going to do? If it's Joe Soap in Riyadh, we'll say by Joe Soap of Reuters in Riyadh. And of course, the agencies absolutely loved that because they weren't used to it, you know, recognition at last. So what we then cleverly did was, if there was a story knew we were going to run on the wires and the agency copy arrived, and maybe there's one or two little things that we wanted clarified or expanded, we would ring the head office of the agency in question and say, look, we're thinking of running your story, but can you just help us out with a couple of small things? Of course, within half an hour, the correspondent will have dropped everything else to fulfill this request from the Independent, because he or she knew that they were going to get a byline. So that worked really well. The reaction from other papers was that they rapidly increased their foreign space. Up until then, for instance, the Telegraph, which is, you know, a serious newspaper, ran one page of foreign news a day. It rapidly upped that to the three that we were doing. And then miraculously, they started bylining agency correspondence as well. I fear, you know, like everything, things changed after a few years. The Independent was less keen on bylining the wires. So that dropped out a bit. Others followed suit, and we're sort of back to where we started now. But anyway, it was a brave experiment at the time. So I'm sure all those unrecognized soldiers of the agencies will remember fondly that at least we gave them a chance to shine, and give them credit for it when we had the chance.